I have the distinct privilege of introducing our special guest speaker today, Governor Kathy Hochul, the 57th governor of New York and its first female governor. Governor Hochul, a Buffalo native, holds a bachelor's degree from Syracuse University and a law degree from Catholic University. She began her legal career working at a law firm in Washington, D.C., and later served as legal counsel and legislative assistant to Congressman John LaFalce and Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan. She also has her own long and distinguished career in public service, having served on her local Hamburg Town Board as Erie County Clerk and as a member of Congress for New York's 26th Congressional District. She most recently served as Lieutenant Governor from 2015 to 2021 and was sworn in as governor on August 24th. In that short period of time, the GCA has been fortunate to have a number of opportunities to chat briefly with the governor, where she has indicated her support for continued investment in New York's critical infrastructure. And more importantly, she has pledged to keep an open mind and an open line of communication with the GCA. By accepting her invitation to speak today, she is keeping that promise, and we are very pleased that she's taking time from her very busy schedule to be here with us today. So with that, please join me in welcoming Governor Kathy Hochul.
Michael, thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity to meet the movers and shakers of New York, or shall I say, the people who are going to help us build back our city and our state. And I want to thank all of you for hanging in there during this pandemic. No one could have foreseen what we went through. No one could have ever planned in a million years that we would have been brought down so hard, and particularly the city of New York. But I can tell you, as sure as I'm standing here, I see the recovery, I see the rebirth, and it's in rooms like these all over New York where people are saying, yes, we can do this, and I feel very confident in all the people in this room. And GCA, I want to thank you for hanging in there and for being part of our recovery in such an impactful way, because we're just getting started. So thank you, and also to Robert Wessel. We've seen each other many times over the last few months, and I want to thank him for his leadership, as well as your board members. I also see Rick Cotton. Where are you, Rick Cotton? He is the dynamo. He's the one that they'll be talking about. Robert Moses has nothing on Rick Cotton in terms of building and the legacy that he is doing, and I'm so proud to work with him. Let's give him a round of applause. Jana Lieber from the MTA may be joining us. I met with him yesterday to talk about all the great things we're going to do. So I want to thank your members. I want to also thank the men and women of labor who are here today. You may know this about me, but I come from a strong labor family. You come from Buffalo, that's about all you're going to have is your families are going to be involved in labor, whether it's dad and grandpa working at the steel plant and uncles working longshoremen and carpenters, and my husband's father was a carpenter. So these are the people we understand. This is why I can handle this rough and tough business. I have steel running through my veins, so I can handle this without any problem. And I'm so proud to be your governor. And people say, well, what's it like to step in during these really tumultuous times? And can you handle this? Like, I've got this. When you're lieutenant governor for 7 years, longest serving in America, you're basically the understudy, and when the lead role opens up, you know what you're doing. So I want you to know that I've given a great deal of thought, not just in the last few months, but for literally my entire public life, and how important it is for us to partner with the businesses as well as the builders to do everything that we've done since I was a town board member. I work closely with the men and women of labor and our business community to help build back significant infrastructure way back when I was trying to just get money from the state for simple sewer improvements in a town that was 150 years old. I know how frustrating that was, and I don't want my local governments to have to struggle anymore. These are investments that should be made with assistance from the state government as well as the federal government. And I have a perspective that most do not have, having served as an attorney on Senator Moynihan's staff, he was the king of infrastructure. He wanted to build. And can you imagine a time not that long ago when we actually could get infrastructure passed in Congress without it being an epic political battle? That's the era I came out of. This is what we call no-brainer, that you have to get the money out to the states and local governments so they can rebuild and to build resiliency and to make sure that our underground systems are working for people. That's just the underground part, and that's what I've worked on most of my life. What I'm really excited about now as your governor, to build up, to be able to continue many of the projects, the signature projects that were started under my predecessor, who did an enormous amount of building and particularly addressing the needs of our airports and our ports and making sure that we no longer are the laughing stock of anyone else who would ever question how beautiful LaGuardia could be, because now it is a gorgeous airport. And I want to thank all the people who are involved in that project. As Lieutenant Governor, I went through the airports more than anybody in this country. That was my daily commute. And so I watched the transformation, and again, to Rick and his team and others who are all part of that, that was just getting us warmed up. We are going to continue those investments at JFK. I want to get Terminal 1 underway and finished. I think that's something that this community deserves and our visitors deserve. Also, I have a long list of projects here. I'm going to start ticking these off because you're going to get excited. So we're going to continue, we're going to cut the ribbon on Delta's brand new Terminal C. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to continue the transformation of JFK. And as I mentioned, Terminal 4 is going to be $1.5 billion expansion. We're breaking ground on that. $4 billion at Terminal 6 will let me take this out of here. Look at me. This is going to anchor the north side of the airport, so that's what's happening at the airport. How about getting phase 2 of the 2nd Avenue subway, extending from 96th Street to 125th, finally making good on that promise from long ago that we made to Harlem in 1940, that this would get done? Yeah, about time, my friend. Most of you weren't even born then, right? You all look so young. But also the Gateway Tunnel, I had a meeting on this yesterday. I want that Gateway Tunnel done, but you know what I want even more so right now? I want Penn Station to look as gorgeous as Moynihan Station. There is no reason why. But the people who come through Penn Station should ever wonder if they're ever going to get out of there. It can be a scary place, and I said this not that long ago, the people who are the proprietors of that station said, "Did you really have to say that?" I said, "Yeah, I did." I had to call it out because then you'll know the sense of urgency I bring to getting this done, and I literally met with Amtrak one day ago to talk about how I want that jump started. And I don't want this to be at the end of the Gateway Tunnel in 2035, okay? I can't even fathom how far into the future that is, but it sounds, when you're getting to my age, that's a long way off. I want to get things done now. So you sense my urgency. I want to get Penn Station itself redone. We will work on the expansion. We will get Gateway Tunnel done. We can do it all. And this is how we're going to come back. These kind of infrastructure projects, long overdue, as well as the Port Authority bus terminal. How scary is that place? Let's just a minute. I mean, do you really want to drop your kids off to go off to college at that bus station? I mean, you're not if you love them, you don't. So, I couldn't wait to say goodbye to mine, but that's another whole story. They know that too. Our commuter train lines, we can do so much with Metro North commuters. They deserve this. They should be able to travel to Penn Station with access to the west side. We're going to create those 4 new stations we've been talking about for a long time in the Bronx as well. New transportation for really an underserved community. Our Long Island Railroad passengers, they deserve to have the long-awaited East Side Access Project, MTA's largest capital project. The 3rd track on the main line, I've been out there for many of the ribbon cuttings as we first proposed this back in 1947. So I'm just getting warmed up. I'm working on my State of the State address. It is going to be transformative. You're going to have a wow factor associated with this because, as you know, I want to get things done. And I didn't play with dolls when I was little. I played with Legos. And that's why I want to keep building and making sure that New Yorkers are proud. And I believe this is the key to our recovery. We get thousands and thousands of men and women the skills they need to step into these jobs, because that's a challenge we face. Get them the skills they need. They're ready. The contracts are signed. The jobs begin. And just as I saw coming over here this morning, I'm seeing so much more activity. I love the sound of the trucks and the construction vehicles all making their sounds because I know something good is happening. People are working, people are getting good paychecks, and we're building back this city in a way that 100 years from now, when they say, boy, how did New York City, the epicenter of the pandemic, the place that was the hardest hit, how did they come back literally less than 2 years later? How did they begin that? And we'll say we did it the same way we did after 9/11, the same we did after Hurricane Sandy, the same way we did after the Great Depression, the crash of 29. We built our way back. And you, my friends, are the builders making that happen. And I want to thank you. You will have in me a very willing partner. I want to see progress. I want to see jobs. I want to see people proud of their city and their state again. So thank you for being true believers. We are in this together, and I look forward to announcing more projects, having you get them done. And as a lieutenant governor who cut more ribbons than anybody in this history of the state, I look forward to bringing a really big pair of scissors and showing up at all your events. So thank you very much, everyone.